Left-handed?
Ambidextrous.
Oh my god.
Well, can you write with both?
Yeah. Can you kick like a football with the left and right?
Yeah, left I can.
I can.
Not great, but I don't practice on it. But
dude,
that's talented.
I'm the same as well, man.
Yeah,
when I'd injured my left. I kicked my more dominant leg is my left leg, and I'd injured it once. I used to go for a kick with Johnny Dares back at the park. And then I injured my left. I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'll still come out for the run. And I was lining up with my right. I didn't have the best power, but accuracy.
Well, that's the thing, the power and stuff. But I can snap on my left. I can handball with my left.
And I said it with work as well, man. Because my dad had told me when I was a kid, I was ambidextrous. I was more left-handed than right. And I told you, like, I swing a cricket bat with my left hand. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was more left with my right, and then just as I went into primary school, it switched. At work, the last 6 months, I've been forcing myself to use, when you use chalk to write on the ground or to mark out. I use my left to write with the chalk, and I'm spot on. Like it's.
See, I'm different. I'm very strong to the right, like big time. Like if I try and write with my left, or like handball with my left, or use a tennis racket with my left, I look like the biggest freak, like loser you've ever seen.
I can't swing a tennis racket with my left. I don't think I've ever tried.
So hard.
Have you guys ever seen me eat with a knife and fork?
No.
So
it's always with your hands. Like an animal.
So when you eat with a knife and fork, how would you eat it? Fork in the left?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got my knife in my left.
Oh wow, dude, that's
and my
talented.
Fork in my right.
That's talented.
That's how I eat, and I get that from my grandfather.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's exactly how he is. It's
so,
weird.
say if you were playing basketball, could you lay up with your left?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's talent.
I don't lay up with my left, but tennis racket, I can't swing with my left, but a bat, like a cricket bat or a baseball bat, left.
Because you're using both. You got a little bit of
but it's always left. Yeah. Always left, and I kick with my left. That's my dominant leg as well.
Yeah, that's weird. Indy's like that. My little girl, she uses both. Like, doesn't favour one. Like, I'll give her a pen. Sometimes she'll take it with her left.
That's
sometimes
really
she takes it with her right.
Because then it's actually good, because I'm not going to say she's going to break her arm or a hand or whatever, but I'm just saying if something was to happen, she can still use.
It's really weird that you're bringing all this up, man, because I was listening to that other episode. You know how we talked about how teaching back in the day, all they ever had was like a starchy old man with a Bible and a ruler.
And a cane, yes.
Yeah, and how I was saying, I had a few conversations with a few people regarding all that sort of stuff. That game Mafia, that I said was my favourite game ever.
PlayStation game, yeah.
That's set in the 20s, yeah? End of 1918, 1920, whatever.
Yeah.
Stickball.
There's a character. There's a character in the game, and he's the mechanic, yeah? He's a mechanic, and you drive cars.
Joey the mechanic?
I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah, mate, Vinny. Yeah, Sammy, You drive cars to him, and he, either hot wires them or mods them, and, whatever, right? But in the game, they go, oh, he's a little slow, he's a little retarded, there's something wrong with him. Dude, he's got a speech impediment. He just stutters. That's the only issue. He's a genius in the game because he's the mechanic, but he's got a stutter, and they call him a bit simple.
Because he stutters.
Yeah, because in the 20s, they had no fucking idea what... They just thought it was
Or he thought it was possessed.
Yeah, they thought he was a retard, as in bad. Then I was listening to the episode we were talking about education back in the 50s and 60s, even the 70s. I thought about left and right, because we talked about that as well. Mm-hmm. Now you're bringing it up, it's really strange. Mm-hmm. They outlawed writing with your left hand.
Oh, what?
When you were a kid.
I didn't know
not
that.
Us, our generation,
back in the day.
But our grandparents, even our parents.
So is that why so many people are strong rightly-handed?
Yeah, because even if you were left-handed, they considered it improper.
Didn't they say it was the devil's...
Look it up.
The devil's side?
Yeah, no, they did. They said if you can use your... back in the day, it was like the devil's influence.
Dude, you know what that comes around to? It's people that use the left hand have more of a...
Artistic, open...
Artistic and open, not so into
not
that structured way of the world.
Not analytically, but more exploring.
So that makes total sense. They were trying to brainwash people from early on.
I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Yeah, because the more I think about it... Because I'm at work and I'm like, heck, why am I writing with my left on the... with chalk? See, I can't grip a pen properly because it's... to get... when you start using a pencil, it's a technique. You've got to actually... when you pick up a pen... Yeah...
You can't even pick it up. Your right hand shit, bro.
When you hold a pen, it's like chopsticks, you know what I mean? You have to develop the technique of where you place your fingers. Remember you used to have those the
thing that goes over the pencil.
And that was for kids to be able to mold their fingers for the right technique. With your left, I've never done it. like for 32 years, I haven't used my left hand to hold a pen, so I haven't got the actual alignment, you know. But when you hold chalk, you just sort of grab it. But when I do that, I can motion the letters cleanly. I'll do it next time we're at work, man. I'll get some chalk. I'll do it outside. Right?
This is so fucking interesting.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought about it again, you know, and the fact that when you were a kid in the 50s or 60s, even 70s, right, you weren't allowed to. You were forced to use your right hand. You were considered you're doing something wrong if you used your left. If that's at the base level of scratching your name in the ground with a stick and they're telling you you're doing it wrong, can you imagine how much other shit they would have said you're doing fucking wrong?
A lot.
If in the 20s they're considering people with speech impediments,
we were considered retards.
Like retards. Just because you just got a stutter.
Yeah.
It's a stutter. It's not...
it's nothing.
Yeah. You don't need a lobotomy. It's a stutter. You need a vocal therapist, speech therapist. See what I mean?
Wow.
And this isn't long ago, dude. When did they... have you got anything on the left-handed...
I've got the myth about the devil.
Yeah, bring that up.
So it's saying here that in the 17th century, it was thought that the devil baptized his followers with his left hand. You know when you... And also, do you know when you spill salt and they tell you to throw it over your shoulder?
Over your shoulder, yeah.
Which side did they tell you to do it on? The left.
Over the left.
The devil lurks on the left side.
Oh my God.
Everything to do with the left is... But like you said, like Dim said, like the artistic...
Dude, because
everything comes from the left side of, you know...
People that, like, use their left hand, right, they use the right side of their brain more, and it's like to think outside the box a bit and to not, like, go the way of the system, just like money, fucking job, fucking blah, 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 right? So that's why they would have been fucking telling you not to use it, because...
They're saying the devil's left-handed. There's got to be a left and a right and wrong.
Oh, my God.
There's got to be, like,
which is bullshit.
Yeah, like, that's why, like Obama... left-handed, and people were saying he was the Antichrist. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He was a lefty.
Lefties are just more like artistic and loving and shit, I feel like.
Well, it says left-handed people have a terrible temper.
You're thinking of Flanders. You're thinking of Flanders.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
Come on, don't we tell them about the
leftorium.
I'm dying here. Sorry, Flanders.
Lefties have a very high IQ.
Yeah.
Geniuses.
Yeah. Lefties are born leaders.
We love lefties. In this episode of the podcast, we love lefties.
I want to open up a leftorium.
Lefties aren't devils is the name of the episode. No, because I'm super strong, heavy favoured on my right, with the leg as well, just down the line.
Yeah, but that's just luck of the draw. Like, do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
I think I just got off my grandfather. Yeah, it's just the way I got raised. That's not a...
You think of schools, man, starting from schools, if a kid's getting told, don't write with your left hand because it's wrong. It's like, fuck... Like, and that's what I'm saying, like, with the generation gap, right? Like, with the White Australia policy that we were talking about in the stolen generation, it's not 1,000 years ago, it's literally this century, you know?
Like 100 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, 20th, 21st century. We're not talking fucking 100 years ago. If you're in schools and kids are getting taught writing with your left hand is fucking evil, how many years of, like, progression... And we're talking across the board, like homosexuality or...
Just setting it back.
Racism or any...
Just a simple thing like that is...
Just sets back so much fucking, like, progression and, like, development and stuff.
Like, I got a mad slap with my left hand. Like, I got slapped the shit out of someone with my left.
Like a backhand.
Oh, man.
I'm on your left side as well, damn.
He just reaches out. Johnny's mic goes dead. Anyway, we'll continue the episode.
Johnny wakes up. Whew, the fuck was that?
Hey, guys, you want to hear about my dong? Slap!
Not this time, cunt. Not this time.
But I use my right more, obviously because I'm just used to it. But I could use my left if I had to.
That's cool.
Yeah. Actually, you know what else is fucking backwards? I saw this in an ad the other day. You know how, like, they've banned the sale of, like, toy guns that look realistic and all that sort of shit? And then they banned Native American... they banned kids playing cops and robbers. Anything that incites violence.
Even, like, Gang Up Tiggy.
Yeah, Gang Up Tiggy. You can't even play Gang Up Tiggy anymore.
That'd be mad. Just jump on a kid and kick the shit.
All that developed, like, team building. You know what I mean? Working as a team. That's the team building.
Working as a team, just getting your mates together and beating the
kid. Little Johnny.
But Gang Up Tiggy was just, you tag the guy and then he's now with you.
Yeah, he's now with you.
Until everyone's with you.
There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
You know what it is? It's, everyone's so sensitive these days. And the media have blown things out of proportion and the sensory stuff.
Yeah.
And they're thinking, oh my God, that could incite
Whatever.
Something,
right?
No, it won't.
Dude,
They're playing
gang up
Tiggy. They're like 5.
It's literally, let's get everyone on my side, so we all fucking chase everyone down until we're all on the same side.
I don't think they actually think that. I think they're just trying to fucking pussify us. Like,
That's what it is.
purposely.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I saw
man,
an
that's
ad.
exactly.
Do you know what I saw an ad for? Paintball for kids. And in the ad, these kids are chasing down their mates with fucking shotguns. Like pump-action shotguns.
That's mad.
Firing off paint rounds. Is it? I'm sorry, but
Oh, man,
they've banned cops and robbers from being played or gang up Tiggy, but you've paintball. These kids had pump-action shotguns,
you know,
man.
It's always conflicting, confusing
Dude,
ideas, isn't it?
I've gone paintball.
You'd be the sniper.
Dude, we went...
This cunt would be the sniper.
In the
just
bushes.
like, just picking cunts
Dude,
off.
Arthur invited us to go do paintball. Remember, like last
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
I went. Have you ever gone paintballing? That gun that we had doesn't look like a gun. It's like just a cylinder casing with the
Yeah,
paint.
yeah.
It looks like an air compressor rifle. Because that's what it is.
That's what
It's
it
an air
is.
compressor.
Yeah.
But it looks like an air
Doesn't
compressor.
resemble a gun, really.
Yeah, it doesn't resemble a gun. It's just an air compressor with fucking paint bullets. These kids had pump-action shotguns in the ad. And they're chasing their mates down and shooting them.
Yeah.
That's cool as.
Fun for all the family. Like, what are you talking about?
This guy's gonna go in. This kid's gonna go inside his house and shoot his mum in the face with it.
You look it up. You'll be fucking like...
You know what? I could just see it. You'd be the one chatting to the chick, like just like with your gun over your shoulder.
Hey, baby. Hey.
Dick would be the sniper with a full paint mask, like a full fucking thing. I'd just be going around with a shotty, just taking cunts out. And I'm the guy that's when someone's down and he's looking at me like with his hand up, just put one into his chest. Like,
It's not right, man. It's not right. I lost it. When I saw the ad, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I was gonna look. I'm gonna find something.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's not even like...
That progressed from laser tag.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
And laser tag, that's okay. You're running around shooting at mates with lasers.
And because he shot you, you can't move. Like it's gone red and you're dead.
You're dead.
Oh, that's nice.
Just like conflicting ideas, isn't
But
it?
is that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. The kid, like when I saw the ad, the little girl had a pump-action shotgun.
Little girl, yeah.
She had a pump-action shotty. I'm like, dude, you can't even have toy guns like that anymore. But here you're actually firing projectiles at
That
your
is the
friends.
coolest shit ever. I found one here, right? I want to go here.
You know what I love?
Birthday party.
Still to this day, I love it. Nerf guns. I've got a collection of them at home.
Nerf guns are
Nerf
cool.
guns.
I love Nerf guns.
There's one in Oakley.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the ad was for. I think it's at the same
Do you
paintball
want to
place
see
that I
what
went
do
to.
you want to see what the kids are using?
Just artillery.
Dude,
The shotgun, they're double-barreled pump-action shotguns, man.
pump action
That
shotgun.
looks like a gun. Look at the masks as well. Looks like
Yeah.
a riot police mask or
And
something.
it's for kids.
Yeah.
That's okay, but, gang up to you, outlawed, incites violence and bullying. What the fuck's wrong with you people? And I'm all for it, like as in, let's get them out of their house running around, whatever. Like, I don't care. But how can you ban gang up Tiggy, but that...
Could allow that, yeah. No shit.
That's not right.
That's not right.
It's
That's,
not
hashtag
right.
that's not right.
Shit you should know.
Shit you should know that's not right.
Jesus.
Next time your kid comes home from school, it's like, oh yeah, Brian invited us to his birthday, or what's the birthday? You run out to paintball and you shoot your friends in the face with fucking shotguns. What? What are you talking about?
I'm there.
This kind of segues sort of a little bit into something else I wanted to ask you guys about. Like,
If it's about your dong or,
this is not dong related
Oh.
for a change, all right?
Wow.
This is not dong related or sex
a
related.
break in the wall. You just put down the gimp mask. when
You know
left
what?
the
New
house.
place, new Bobby.
It's just...
Hey, I'm off the drugs. It's all right. So I have a little child, a little 3-year-old, obviously, and I am made to watch some TV shows with her sometimes. So TV shows, right? What's your guys' opinion? I was tripping out on it the other day. I was sitting on the couch and I just went into like this headspace and I was just tripping out. Like she was watching this show. Like there's a whole bunch of them, but one in particular that I'll just use for the sake of the conversation. Daniel Tiger, right? And it's an educational show about. It's like a bunch of kids that go to school, and one of their friends is like a little tiger, and he's like a real pussy.
They're human,
They're human,
but this is one tiger.
and there's a tiger. He walks on 2 feet, just like them. He's just like a human, but he's a tiger. Daniel Tiger.
What's the word? Anthropomorphic.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't remember how to pronounce it.
And he's a real little pussy. Like, he's always like, and whatever, right? Like, but I just started tripping out. Like, why are these kid shows have talking animals that are interacting with humans? Like, why? Why is that?
Good question.
And is that something that's like plays a big part in like a brainwashing sort of thing from a young age? Like, because it doesn't make sense. It's an educational show, but straight off the bat, it's not educational because you've got a little pussy tiger.
Tell you why? Because then your daughter will say, Dad, let's go to Toys R Us so I can buy a talking tiger.
Well, hang on. To be fair, children's fantasy stories, like bedtime stories and shit, going back to like when we were kids, even further.
Abba.
Oh, the elephant.
Yeah.
Baba.
Because I don't shelter her with things, right? Like I show her graphic documentaries of lions taking down deer and shit.
Gazelles.
And she loves it. Like, she doesn't shy away from it.
Dude, I grew up in a house where my old man used to watch World War II docos like every day.
Okay, cool.
I knew about the Holocaust when I was like 7.
So I'm preaching to the choir right now. It's all right.
Yeah. Dude, my dad, because like I remember my sister used to be down on him about it, like because that's all my old man would watch. Like my old man loves like history, you know, like whatever it is, political or geography, shit like that. And yeah, when we were kids, we'd always be taping these docos about Nam, about World War II, and la la la. And my sister would give him shit about it, like not shit, just crack it about it.
Like, Dad, why?
Yeah, why watching this fucking morbid shit? And my dad said, I remember it.
It's life.
If we don't learn about the past, we'll make the same mistakes in the future.
Good point.
And that's the truth. Like with that's what they're saying about Trump's rise right now.
Look at you, man. You're so anti-war and anti-fucking, and you grew up watching that shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like with Trump, if you literally switched his Mexican agenda and just made it about Jews, you'd be looking at Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
50,
Well, that's
60 years
exactly,
ago.
exactly what
60,
I
70
mean.
years ago, that's what you'd be looking at. It'd be the same rhetoric, just with a different fucking brand.
Yeah.
Like, it would be.
And he's got the military to back him up.
Yeah, that's exactly how Adolf Hitler started. He's the chancellor and then twisted his agenda. Anyway.
Just going back to the tiger, the pussy tiger.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So I watch these documentaries there, right? She loves it. She asks me questions, like, and I explain to her, I'm like, this is nature. He kills her.
I can just see you filling your head with all these spurious facts that you didn't know. I felt like, oh yeah, that was just coming up with
No,
random.
come on, I'm not, no. But then, right, when she's watching Daniel Tiger, she comes over to me and she's like, Dad, Daniel's not, like, scary. Like, he's not, doesn't kill. Like, you know what I mean? So she's getting this conflicting idea from, like, what's reality and what is... So I was just tripping out on it. I was like, why do we have, like, talking animals going to school with kids that walk on 2 feet? Like, it just started spinning me out.
Okay. You know, it just reminds me of, like, another really, really mythological, fictitious story. It's called Christianity. The snake.
Do so.
Eve
Anyone.
with the snake. That snake talked and told Eve to eat the apple even though God told her not to eat it.
Good point, yes.
That's it. Case in point, I'm going to go home now. Bye.
You're an idiot, Eve.
Dude, like, the snake.
Yeah.
The Bible is full of fucking talking animals, man. The burning bush. Look at the Bible, man. Just every talking animal under the sun. Why?
Eating fucking Adam's wang.
Why?
She ate the apple.
Yeah. Why?
What a dumbass.
Because it's just a fucking story to convince people of whatever they want to convince. It's just but that's the thing.
But why are you convincing kids that there's a talking tiger that's a pussy hanging out with these kids?
Because that's just a story. That's a fictitious story. Like, even in mythology, dude.
But it confused my little daughter because she was like, Daniel's not.
Yeah, and
like,
it's your
eating
job
them.
to teach her. It's your job to teach her that is just a story for fantasy.
Okay, I do, but there's plenty of parents that wouldn't bother to take the time
And that's
to do
why
that.
I say parents need to have fucking licenses and be reviewed every 6 months to maintain.
Okay, but I want to
having their
know
child.
why these fucking people that are making these cartoons are doing that. Why not just have a class full of children instead of having a fucking talking tiger in there?
Because
Makes
it's
no
more
sense.
marketable with a talking tiger.
And Peppa Pig.
It's like dude, it's like
Money.
Okay, did you watch Life of Pi?
Yeah, I did actually.
All right, what'd you think of it?
I didn't mind it. It was kind of cool, a bit different.
Cool. I saw it at the cinemas, man. Great graphically, it looked fucking incredible, man. Like that night scene, you know, with the stars, it was just like, wow.
CGI wasn't too bad. Yeah,
it was really cutting edge as far as that sort of shit. Do you remember what he says at the end? I don't give a fuck, spoiler. Do you remember what he says when he tells the story back to the reporter or whatever? And he's like, as far as I see it, the lion is a metaphor for yourself.
Yeah.
The zebra or whatever was a metaphor for your mum.
Yeah.
Such and such. Because the whole story, dude, I don't know if you've seen it or
I've never
read
seen
it.
it.
The whole story
He's
is
stuck on the
about,
raft with
there's a
like-
guy on a boat.
I've seen the with the tiger.
Yeah, the tiger.
There's a guy on a boat. He's on a boat with like a tiger, a zebra that's wounded.
It's like a raft or something, isn't it? Like
It's just a raft.
I'm
A makeshift
on a
raft.
boat.
Yeah. he's telling a story, and it's just a struggle against the lion. And then there's, like I said, the zebra, which, when he tells a real story, at the end he's like, all right, well, would you prefer the reality is I was with my mother, this guy killed her, so this guy was about to kill her, so in order to stop him from killing my mother, I killed him, wounded my mum, and then it's all a metaphor, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he's like, which story would you prefer? And the guy's like, I think I prefer the one with the animals. You know? He's like, why? It's a nicer story. And he says, as with God. It's like, you can tell shit how it is, or you can invent a concept like God and put in all these stories just to make it easier to swallow and easier to understand, like with metaphors. Because, like, learning, the easiest way to learn and the most effective way to learn is using metaphors and apply them to real life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When I try to get someone to understand my opinion, I always bring it back to a metaphor. It's like, all right, well, it's like this. Consider this option. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, yeah, now I understand. You know, you bring it back to base. The only problem is people are more fucking likely to believe fucking magical demons and dragons and wizards and talking fucking gophers and hamsters as opposed to just being told, stop being a dickhead, act normally, don't fuck with the people around you, and they won't fuck with you either.
Yeah.
It's better to just start making footy teams and waving fucking flags with symbols on them like, yeah, we're this team, we're that team, go fuck yourself, we're better. Why? Because our story has a bigger fucking dragon than your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the state of everything, man, that's why. And, like, that cartoon, man, that cartoon will be fine if it was just a cartoon and...
Yeah.
But they're spoon-feeding everyone with bullshit at the same time. Dude, creativity isn't a bad thing. And the ability to fantasize and make up stories is cool. But when that fantasy creates some rhetoric like the Bible or the Quran or whichever fucking bullshit you want to go against, and people lose sight of the actual... Like, your little girl's smart enough to say, that's not right.
Yeah.
And then you explain to her, it's just a story, it's a thing. Oh, okay, cool. And she'll just take it on board like, yeah, it's just a bedtime story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you read bedtime stories as a kid? Like,
Yeah.
you know, your parents read to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did your grandparents or your mum ever read them to you or not?
Huh? We had the Greek news at 7 and I went to bed.
Just shut up, go to sleep.
I had the Greek news on satellite, man. That was...
Just standing on the edge of the cot looking over.
I remember
Like Bart? Like
yeah,
Bart?
because at 4:30 and all that, I had like Bold and the Beautiful. And then at, 2:30 was Young and the Restless. And then at 7 o'clock, my grandfather, we used to eat at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, we used to watch the Greek news. And I'd go to bed. No Greek story.
Nice.
There's no stories. Like, they used to tell us like, fairy tale, like, you know, like, just little stories from Greece and little whatever, but nothing like a bedtime story, man.
Actually,
But Connie used to tell me about Bruce Lee.
you want to hear about another contradiction that makes no sense? Because I was listening to
Tell me.
us like how every episode.
Tell me
I was at my mum's. I was telling her about how we're moving to HQ and like how like our listens have like doubled overnight and all that sort of shit. And I was talking about how we always come back to The Bachelor. Like everything, that's the common denominator. It's like such a big thing. Like it's
a good metaphor. It's a good metaphor for so many things.
Yeah,
right?
it stares us right in the face, and there are so many fucking contradictions in that show. I started laughing because like there was an ad on TV when I was in a lounge room. I'm like, this is pissing me off, and I'm like, this whole concept could just be liquidated in a thing: Married at First Sight. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or that Bride and Prejudice or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Married at First Sight. This is what pisses me off, man. When they first got introduced. It first got introduced as a sociological experiment. They were doing studies on would a faceless marriage off the bat work in a better way. I'm like, they've produced a TV show, like white people are coming around for the first time ever, and they're producing TV shows on would a faceless marriage work. Go to Eastern Europe. Go to Greece. Go to Asia. The people have had fucking arranged marriages since the beginning of time. And you know what? They work.
Yeah.
And it's like you're lucky to get a fucking meeting. You rock up on the day. This is John. This is fucking Jill. You're married. And we're going to get the goat, and you're going to get the fucking house, and then we'll share whatever, like, offspring come out of this.
Yeah.
And they're acting like it's such a modern, revolutionary experiment.
We're pushing the limits and testing.
Go to the Middle East. Go to anywhere besides white, okay? And it fucking happens.
You're marrying him? Shut the fuck
It's
up.
still happening in India right now.
Absolutely.
This kid Hassan in Pakistan will end up marrying someone he's never met before.
And it'll work.
And it'll fucking work. Or if it doesn't. But it's not a new concept for them to market a fucking show over.
Great point. Something I haven't thought about before as well.
Cutting edge.
Yeah.
Cutting edge experiment.
Australian TV.
What are you talking about?
Australian TV.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Actually, my girlfriend works with an Indian guy that fled India because he didn't want to get married to his arranged missus. And he's like hiding out in Australia, literally.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I'm not saying arranged marriages are a good thing.
But it's been going on for
pretend like
thousands
it's
of years.
a new thing, man.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
My mum, I was saying it to my mum and she was pissing herself laughing. She's like, she goes, you'd rock up and you'd have a look at the daughter that they're setting you up with. She wasn't any good. You went for the younger one, and that's it. Like, literally, that was it. This is my mum, man. She's middle aged. It's not like 1,000 years ago, but it's in this century. And they're like, we hit the fucking revolution.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
We're doing the tests now.
Experiment. What are you talking about?
There's no experiment.
Man? Dude, I knew a girl that literally got bundled off, man. Like, they brought a suitor to the house. They had a conversation. And it's like, well, if that meeting went well, we'll have another one and then we'll discuss the dowry. The same fucking thing.
But I don't think it would work as well for Australians because... Like, you know what I mean? Like, women would just have all these different ideas, whereas over there or whatever...
People have ideas, not just women.
No, yeah. No. But over there, it's like, you're kind of born into that. Like, this is what you're going to do, this is how it's going to be.
because it's just the system. It's just...
But in Australia, it's like, Shazza with fucking, whatever.
Yeah, but you think about it, right? Why is a system like that? Because it was more than just... Dude, the physical union of, like, man and woman... All right, or in today's age, man and man or whatever, it wasn't the physical union of, okay, we just found a life partner for these two people. It's got nothing to do with that, man. It came down, that union would balance economy, it would balance politics,
full society.
It would balance everything. It would set the book straight for the next 60 years.
Yeah.
Look at the royals. They're all incestuous because you got the Queen of Denmark marrying the Prince of fucking, Edinburgh or something. And that union would be the biggest, there would be meetings. It's like, okay, we need to find suitors. Okay, let's see what Norway has.
Dude, how do you think the Queen and Philip got married?
Exactly.
They got matched. I saw it on the show The Crown.
Dude, Queen Elizabeth would watch Married at First Sight and be like, what a joke. Been there, done that.
What do they know?
Yeah, what do they know? Literally. But, like, dumb Aussies. Think about it.
According to David Icke, is to keep the reptilian bloodline alive, my friend.
Again with the reptilians.
To rule humanity, my friend.
Okay, conspiracy time. Do you really...
Conspiracy hour with your bubby.
Do you think the reptilians exist?
It could be a possibility, dude. I don't rule it out for sure. There are still royals ruling everyone, right? And they all marry within each other.
Okay, look up the reptilian bloodline, man. Like, it's just for the people out there that don't know what it is. Okay? That's something that needs to be, like, actually figured out.
Because David Icke is a very intelligent man and he's been swearing for years upon years that it's a reptilian bloodline.
I love it. We're an hour and 47 minutes in and we've hit that conspiracy.
Conspiracy hour.
So the reptilian, Illuminati bloodlines, bloodline families are often referred to as Illuminati. The four lines is the same thing. Are genetically different other than human beings. They have a genetic signature that is quite hybrid in nature. Their biomechanical makeup consists of more extraterrestrial DNA than it does human DNA.
And that's why they all intermarry and don't let newcomers come in.
And it says here, the reptilian aliens and the council of the 13 royal families.
Yep.
Like, full into it. Look at him. Maybe you're a fucking reptilian.
You just got a boner, man. It's just, my time. 9 months, finally.
Man, I've found this shit interesting for a long time.
I think it's interesting.
Since, like, fucking high school.
And when you watch the shapeshifter videos on YouTube,
George Bush Sr. and
pick
shit.
anyone. Pick the news reporters, where it just looks like their eyes are fucking morphing all over the joint. That's hard to explain. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So, apparently, the true current Pindar, which is the leader of the reptilian race, is the head of the Rothschilds family and has been for several hundred years, which could be that old dude that doesn't die.
And you think about it, man, these people have no fucking empathy. They've been looting and plundering for fucking since...
Yeah, no, there's no empathy at all.
Zero.
That's how you rule a world, man. Like, you can't have empathy to be a world leader. Like, no, you can have empathy to be a world leader, but you can't dominate the planet without empathy.
Because that's something I've always thought. Like, me as a person, I couldn't just wipe out thousands of people. But they can so easily, right?
Years of fucking grooming, man. Kids were taught not to write with their left hands because it's evil. Can you imagine, like, Okay.
Yeah, I know, being born into it,
Let's
I know.
go back to, like, say, the 60s, right? And let's pretend we're in that classroom, yeah? You have to understand, like, we look at it now and it's like, that's ridiculous, you know, who the fuck would believe that? But at the same time, go back to then, that's what you've been taught by the generations before you. So that's what you know. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
at some point, don't you get older and go, hang on, what I'm doing is fucking wrong here. I'm killing innocent people. We need to stop this. That never happened.
yeah, I agree. But that's just the mentality of, like, looking at people and it's removing yourself from something so it's foreign. Like the white Australia thing, yeah? Like the stolen generation. Most people will be like, oh, that was 1,000 years ago. Like, literally, that was 1,000 years ago. It's got nothing to do with me. It's like, dude, that was only like 50 years ago. That could easily be our grandparents or our uncles or, you know, our brothers. It's not... But that's what I'm just using that as a base, like, to come back to.
But, like, you grow as a person. You got to think, like, we've got to cut this shit out. Like, this is fucked.
But
Like,
this thing, your little girl, because she's your offspring, right? Your little girl's grown up with your thoughts
yeah, but you don't always follow your parents.
No, you don't. But what I'm saying is you've created that environment for her to actually question shit because you question shit. Does that make sense?
You're encouraging her to ask questions.
Dude, I can name 1,000 things that my dad would have taught me as a kid, which is absolutely spurious. Like, it's rubbish. Like, my dad is a switched-on guy. He's not an idiot. But at the same time, he's very closed off. Like, he would read about history, but he's stuck in history. He's stuck in history. He doesn't give a shit about current events. He doesn't know anything about current events. I'm sitting there schooling him. You know what I mean? I remember, like, 10, 15 years ago, I was probably still in high school, man. I had a conversation with him and my uncle. We were going on a hunting trip or something, yeah? And this is when Dubai was just starting to skyrocket. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, the United Emirates. It's when they started establishing themselves, when they realised, like, dude, you look up Dubai, like, as a city. Have you read anything about Dubai? Like, you've been.
I've been there for 10 days.
Oh, I've looked at pictures of it. It looks amazing.
It's amazing. It's in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
It is hot as hell.
It's the middle of the desert. If you go back a couple hundred years, a couple thousand years, dude, it's fucking desert. Just get a couple random camels walking through, merchants, and
Look at
that's
it now.
it.
It's like that cartoon when the camel walks past and looks at the screen and goes, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
It just keeps walking off.
Yeah, right? Like, literally, there was nothing there, man. And then this dude comes along, he's like, you know what, man? We need to build something because our economy's not going to stable. Like, we need something. We need some fucking form of tourism, commerce. We need to develop something. And if you look at the time-lapse videos of Dubai between, like, the last 20 years, it's insane. It literally went from a little village to fucking
It looks so fucking cool now, man. It looks so cool. It's so
big,
futuristic.
gaudy. Like, it's like Tokyo and Vegas all in one, man. It's insane.
And they had the money to back it.
Yeah, and they had the money to back it. I remember,
oil money.
like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and probably even more, man. I was probably just finishing high school. I remember my dad and my uncle were talking about what was going on over there. Like, it must have been around September 11. Like, you know, I mean, in hindsight, like the whole relative of the conversation. And I remember they were laughing. They weren't laughing, but they were acting as if the Middle East had no idea how to run anything. It's all just a joke. Like, it was a joke, like, to laugh about. I'm like, and I remember saying, what are you out of your mind? I go, we think the Arabs are fucking stupid. They go, they know the level of their oil wells and their reserves. They know how much gas they've got left. What do you think they're doing with Dubai? What do you think they're reinvesting in airlines? Etihad and Emirates. Yeah. Those airlines were created as tax dodgers because they'd claim it as a loss. They were pumping money into these airlines to claim as a loss to all their other revenue. In the end, these airlines, because they pumped so much money, and started winning awards, and it's like everyone wants to fly Etihad, everyone wants to fly Emirates.
Everyone does.
They killed the airline industry because they forced everyone to raise the bar. I go, you think the Middle Easterns are fucking idiots? What do you think? They've got no idea about anything in the world, but you in Melbourne have done the same job for the last 40 years, don't know what the internet is.
You know
what they're doing with their money. You're out of your fucking mind. And they went quiet. Dude, I was only like 17, 18, man. I don't think I was any older than that. And they were looking at me like I was just schooling them like, Christ, maybe we are just fucking old and we have no idea.
We just got.
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah.
And I'm just going by like what I know off the cuff, like as in, I've forgotten most of the details, you know. I'm just talking in generalities right now. You know, don't use what I'm saying as fucking fact, you know, like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I'm just saying. This is 20 years ago, that's what I knew and that's what they knew. And there's a big contrast to what is actually going on and what they think they fucking know.
Yeah.
They have no idea, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people think, like, you know, you name a random country in the world, and more often than not, depending on the generation gap between who you're asking, they'll bring up, like, the older people will probably bring up some stereotypical view, like, they've got no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're remotely close. Like, the Americans still, like, not so much now, but even when we were kids, the Americans would look at us like we were fucking just hillbillies in rural farms. Everything looks like Kalgoorlie, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we're sleeping with kangaroos and, like, taking rides of them to go to school.
Yeah.
It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, my relatives in Greece used to do it, man. Like, you cunts are fucked. You live in villages. You don't have fucking plumbing. And you make it out like we're hillbillies?
Yeah.
Please. Give me a spell.
Give me a spell. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Give me a spell. I've got a name here that I want you to look up. Alistair Lashkachav. I can't remember who he was. I've written it down to actually look it up, but I've forgotten. Alistah. For some reason, I've made a footnote of it. Alistah. Lashk or something? Who is he?
The Bachelor's Kira Maguire's father, Alistair Lashkov, boasted about wives. The Bachelor.
What?
Back to the Bachelor.
Goes back to the Bachelor.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
So he was a cult polygamist.
Oh, that's what he was. Yeah, in Adelaide.
Kira Maguire's mother defended polygamist cult to a current affair.
Defended?
They dug up old footage, time spent with a cult polygamist. So that family was part of...
Oh, there was the girl. Yeah, the girl. Her mum was part. She was part of that cult.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And I think I might have just highlighted it for me to read
This
about.
guy amassed 9 wives, 63 children, dubbed the Seaside Sect. During the 1970s, up until 93, when the cult fell apart because he became violent towards a couple of women.
Sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, I highlighted it to just read more about the
A
actual...
former New Zealand police officer was charged in 1998 with child sex offences, and in 2000 he was found guilty of 21 sex offences, 17 with girls under the age of 11. He was jailed for 7 years and 6 months, where he died behind bars.
What are your guys' thoughts on multiple wives?
Multiple wives?
I have trouble with one.
Yeah. Yeah. You got enough trouble maintaining a relationship with one woman, man, let alone weather the storm of about 8 women losing their shit. Can you imagine, you know what's fuck? You imagine like all of them start menstruating at the same time.
It's like getting up on you?
Their hormones all sync up. You're coming home to deal with 8 women just fucking losing their shit because, you know, you left your socks on the couch.
How
Or
was this guy a polygamist?
But in Middle Eastern culture, they'd be more
looks like a poor man's
in
Ron
check,
Jeremy.
right?
No, it's not even the middle. It's got... See, that's it.
No, I'm saying, like, multiple wives, like in Middle Eastern culture or whatever, they're more in check, like they're more, like, servant to the husband or whatever, right?
No, dude.
Is that,
Okay, first of all, polygamy is not Middle Eastern. It's not a Middle Eastern thing. Polygamy was, like they say, it's like in Islam, all right? So, hence, Islam is not the Middle East. Islam is predominant in the Middle East, but it does not mean it's Middle Eastern. Like, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Secondly, when I think of polygamy, I don't think of the Middle East. You know what I think of? Utah and fucking the Mormon, those compounds of Latter-day Saints, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, pale-ass skin Mormons out in the middle of Utah. That's what I think of when I think of polygamy. That's my go-to. And it's not because I'm a wog, it's because that's my go-to, dude. It's like, yeah, Latter-day Saints with fucking 100 wives and, 1,000 kids. Latter-day Saints, whitest cunts on the planet. But everyone's like, oh yeah, these Arabs, they have, multiple wives. Like, what are you talking about, man? What fucking Hanna-Barbera Looney Tunes cartoon did you see this on?
So that isn't a thing, like...
Polygamy can be in strains of Islam, but it's not Middle Eastern. Like, that's my point.
All right, yeah, I'm dumb, so... But I'm
No, you're not dumb. I'm just saying, like, dude, it's like the fucking Pray for Paris thing. I'm sick of fucking, stereotypes in media just fucking playing it up. Like, you know what, man? Every time we make a reference to something Greek, you fire up with Zorba, like a Zorba reference, right? It's a joke. Like, I know you're kidding about it. You don't fucking believe everything is named after Zorba the Greek, played by Charlton Heston, Anthony Quinn, who wasn't Greek, just played a Greek. Do you know what I mean? Like, played the most famous Greek, but wasn't Greek, right? You say Zorba the Greek, and I rattle you for it, but I know you're kidding. It's just like...
a joke.
It's a joke, right? But think about that, and then all the stereotypical jokes that people use as facts, and that's what, do you remember in Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom? You know when they sit, like, that's in it's not in India. It's in, is it India? Where's it set? Temple of Doom.
Is
I knew this fact because I remember I was surprised by it.
I should know that as well.
When I looked it up as an adult, I was actually like, oh, that's where it's set. Because I always thought it was somewhere else. Temple of Doom was set in...
East Indian Village, just a remote.
Yeah, East Indian Village. You know when they have the dinner at the Raja's palace or whatever, Bangkok Palace, and they're all opening up the snakes, monkey brains, and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That movie was filmed in the early 80s or something?
Yeah, 84.
84, right? I watched it as a kid when I was probably 10, like, you know, when you got the tape from the Maccas, yeah? So I was probably like 10 or 11, maybe a bit younger, okay? But my idiot parents or someone would have seen that video and said, oh, that's what it's like in India. They eat snakes with snakes coming out of them and monkey brain soup and all this sort of shit. Like, the amount of fucking just spurious hyperbole, like just crap that people take as stereotypical views and then think it's facts. And then the fucking big propaganda wheel just starts where the next generation of retards think the same exact thing. That's what pisses me off the most, man.
But having multiple wives, like, where is that? Like, is that...
It's that can be a cultural thing anywhere. Dude, it happens in Africa. It happens in Africa. Yeah, it does happen in the Middle East. It happens in Utah. It happened in Adelaide, thanks to this cunt. He doesn't look Middle Eastern to me, man. He's got a Russian Slavic surname. And he looks like a fucking bogan from Derrimut.
He literally looks like a poor man's Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him, he's disgusting. But he had a cult based on polygamy. Why? Because that idiot figured out a way where he could have multiple women on tap and just get out of, like, doing housework. Like, literally, that's what he's a fucking ugly cunt. And he thought, if I start a cult and I can dupe one woman and then convince them all, then I've really got something going here.
Doesn't have to work. Just does
You know what I mean?
wants. Gets tax breaks.
What about the rich housewife in Beverly Hills that has a Mexican pool cleaner, a fucking Trinidad and Tobago carpenter, and, you know, a couple other frat boys just milling around the house cleaning her house.
Frat boy.
Dude, yeah, and she's having her way with whoever she wants. Is that not a form of polygamy?
Yeah.
Exactly. Is anyone going to judge her or question her on that? No. Why? See what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. It all comes down to the concept of marriage, like straight away. Polygamy, meaning that you've got multiple partners under like a marital law. The concept of marriage is a human creation. It's not a law of nature. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like animals can be. There are animals that are monogamous. I think penguins.
Yeah.
Penguins are monogamous.
They've got their mates.
Yeah, there are certain animals that have.
Certain birds as well, I believe.
Yeah, certain
for life.
Certain animals that will literally have one mate for the rest of their lives. Like that's it, and they'll go through a mourning process. You know, if one of them dies off, and such and such. Yeah. But animals, you put a set of rabbits in a cage, they'll be banging left, right, and centre. Why? Because that's what fucking animals do.
That's animal instincts.
Animal instincts, primal instincts and primal urges, like even as people, man, our base need is food, shelter, stimulation, and companionship, like comfort, right? It's not, I need to find one person for the rest of my life. That is not our animal instinct. Our animal instinct is the opposite of that. I just need to feel comforted for the rest of my life. By whatever means.
Yep.
Whether it's a woman, a man, an animal, a drug, doesn't matter what it is. But it's riding with your left hand is evil. And if you eat meat on Friday during the month of March and April, you're going to go to fucking hell. See what I mean? That's what shits me.
Yeah.
So it's like, at what point, like we're in an age where we have all this information where we can just scale everything back, just stop the fucking shit and just say, all right, man, can we just look at the whole concept of everything first and just start drawing some lines in the sand?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, right? Like, my old man, yeah, like he had those ignorant views like 10, 15 years ago, and he's still pretty fucking ignorant now, I'm sure. You know, if you ask him questions on random shit, he's probably cautious about it now because they know that you can have your bullshit pulled up just by Google.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So old farts don't really talk out of line anymore.
They're like, yeah.
They'll start with their crap and then you pull them up on it. It's like, oh. And once they've had that happen a couple of times, they just shut up about it. Yeah. But think of it like this. Like that kid in like I was thinking about, because I've been working on the website and the graphics like the whole last week and a half, right? I was driving back from work or something, and I pulled out my phone, and I was texting this kid Hassan, right? And like, I was getting irritated because of his responses. They were like staggered and like, the work wasn't getting done properly and all that. I'm complaining about it. And I'm like, hang on, dickhead. You just sourced some 20-year-old kid in Pakistan to do some graphics work for like $1.25. Did you realize the power, like the magnitude of what you're doing right now? You've got your phone out and I've just like, remember with like your okay. Can you imagine being like our parents' age, like, 30 years ago or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think they'd have ever fathomed the idea of getting graphics work done by some designer on the other side of the planet?
They probably still can't fathom it.
No. Like, think about, like, the power we have now as people.
Because you'll say, I'm getting just a kid from overseas doing my graphic. And even today they'll be like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Why would you do that?
How did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, think of that. And that's what people are so fucking wrapped up in their shit. Like, my Wi-Fi isn't working or this. It's like, we've talked about the miracle of modern technology. Like, it's mind-blowing.
It's magic.
Dude, and we've said it before. When I was a kid writing Easter cards to my grandparents in Greece or whatever, my mum would be like, we need to write these cards now because they won't get there in time for Easter. We're talking like 4 weeks in advance, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just messaging Hassan in Pakistan like, hey, brother, like, can you send me those specs?
In real time.
Yeah. Real time, like, this kid is sitting somewhere where there are suicide bombings going off 10 k's east.
Or he's sitting in his little shitty room.
Yeah.
And this is what he's doing to eat.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, well,
no.
We're not painting every Pakistani as being poor, but we're saying could be.
More, yeah.
And he's trying to work himself.
Whatever it is.
Just to.
You know what I mean? And that's what pisses me off. Like, we have this power now, man, where Angelina Jolie can make a movie about Syrian refugees starring Cristiano Ronaldo.
Like, give me
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, where does she get permission to touch that subject, man?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bitches.
Where would she get permission to touch that subject? Has she got like an intimate connection with it?
Why? Because she's assembled the adoption of the UN.
Yeah. Leave the Syrian story for the Syrians. Let them fucking make the budget for it, man. Let them write the story.
Let them tell it.
Let them tell their own fucking story.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. We're at an age and a time and place where no one has to have their story told for them. If anything, we should be trying to reach out to people to enable them to tell their story. Like, give them a voice.
Power. Give them the power.
Yeah, give them the power, give them a voice, give them the platform to do it. But not like...
Don't just take over and...
Don't worry, mate. I'll sort it out from here. Like, you're going to leave a lot of fucking T's uncrossed and a lot of I's,
What about this point and that point? Yeah.
No. We don't need to mention any of that.
Yeah.
Like Pauline Hanson coming out and saying that ad for Australia Day was too politically correct. It's like, all right, Pauline, do you want to tell the real story about how Captain Cook came over and started slaughtering Indigenous Australians up until about 60 years ago? Is that a better story for you?
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. We just talk about how we set schools up and the Damper and the Captain Cooks and Ned Kellys. Yeah. Our saviour. Fucking Walshy Matilda about a fucking swagman who steals a sheep, or the bushranger that killed a couple cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do this country proud.
Isaiah Wild Wright was there, guaranteed.
Isaiah was alright.
He was there, man.
Can't believe you haven't done any research on that. I would have been on that straight away, man. I would have lost
my shit after seeing that photo as well.
Dude, I would have been on that. I'm getting it back up.
Yeah, not to.
Doesn't look like me.
Dude, are you joking?
It looks fucking exactly.
Dude, he looks exactly like you. I'm not even saying it to take the piss. I'm just saying, like, he looks exactly like you. Like, there is a very big resemblance, man. I'm serious.
Don't see it.
How can you?
Hey, did you guys see all those dudes overdosing on GHB?
Yeah.
On the weekend?
I actually drove past that festival. It was at my music bowl.
Just dudes passed out all over the ground, like overdosing on G.
Fuck, dude. Even the beard, man. I can't get over it.
That's you, man. Especially from where I'm sitting, the angle of your profile is the same angle as that. So I'm telling you, man, it's exactly the same.
Do you reckon he's got his arm like this, taking a selfie?
Like just looking away, like he's not doing it.
1800s.
It's like one of those cameras that the pinhole and the light goes through.
Yeah.
You've got to hold it there for like 10 minutes.
He's got the glare. That glare you've got.
That's sexy glare?
Far out, man. Dude, that is unbelievable.
Are you serious? You're still going on about it.
I just can't get over it.
Isaiah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, like...
Mr. Right.
That is you down to a T.
Oh, that's funny.
I can't believe you haven't done any research on that. Just even ask a question to someone, to your grandmother. Doesn't she live up there somewhere? In Mansfield?
No.
Where does she live?
Bentley?
You said you knew someone. You knew someone that lived up there.
Did I? No, I didn't say that.
Something like that. Oh,
think you guys-
no, sorry. Your mum knows a lot about that history. She likes that stuff, yeah? Like the history and stuff.
Yeah, loves the bushranger history.
Does your grandma know a lot about that stuff? Like,
I don't
does she know?
Don't know.
Call her up.
You
Hey,
just
Nan,
don't want
do
to
you
get
know
a
Isaiah?
Bentley. Can't be bothered going to Bentley. It's around the corner from my house. You could have gone. You're such a bad
You
grandson.
probably
man.
passed Bentley. Yeah, you would have passed within like a kilometre from Bentley today.
Yeah, gotta go see her.
You said that on podcast 27.
You know, but it's been so long now that it's like hard to, you know what I mean? I don't
I mean,
know.
hard. I'd want to know about that shit, man. I'm asking. I used to at one point, I was asking my mum about like our family history all the time.
Does it look like we've forgotten about it?
Dude, I got it here. I got the house on my chest. My family name just below my stomach. Like, dude, it's not gone anywhere. That's who it is. I'm being serious. Don't look at me like.
It just doesn't like phase me that much. I'm kind of like whatever. I'm mean now, so
You? What do you mean?
I'm the new generation. Fuck them.
You're such a harsh guy.
You know what? Maybe that's a plus of like, as in, we're like a lot of like say with Greeks, right, or anyone like civilizations that have been going for like thousands of years. We're steeped in history. We're like there's something to be like.
I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said it like last time, like about the bogans, like in the alt-right movements and shit, how they're like, fuck off, we're full. I'm like, what are you even protecting? You don't even know your own fucking, you don't know your heritage. Like, does that make sense? Like, for you,
Like, you know that some white dudes came here and that's about as far as it goes.
You know, a lot of them would still have like some kind of European, like, not saying like English, but a lot of them would have like different.
Yeah, but surely there was something in the melting pot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was one big colony. Like,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for them, their heritage starts when Nan met Pops at the fucking local Macca's in, 63. Do you know, like, does that make sense?
At the local pub. At the
local
local
pub.
watering hole.
Went for a pub meal and.
Yes. I met you, Nan, at the great dance of 45. It was phenomenal.
We had lamb and 3 veggies.
Yeah. Do you know what I
was the
mean?
dinner for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the Dogs in 73. That was fantastic. Your Uncle Walt came down from Mansfield. Like, yeah, all right, mate. Like, yeah, that's great. But for them, like, Brian in fucking the gully, he's got like a Southern Cross tat on him and like screaming like behind a fucking anonymous mask, like, fuck off, we're full. It's like, dude, you don't even know where you come from, man. Like, you don't know where you come from. And that's where your heritage starts, literally when Nan and Pop at the fucking drive-thru of the pub in 63. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Darling, I gave your grandfather a wristy.
Yeah.
back in 51.
And that was it. He loved it.
Literally, that's where it starts. For
Where you got stuck.
using Australia as an example, right? Like, for the Anglo... That's a fuck.
I just don't care that much about it, I guess. Like, that's why I haven't bothered to look into it, because I just, like, I'm whatever.
See,
like,
that's the thing. That's a trap. It's a double-edged sword. It can either make you or break you. Like with Greeks, like with us. From the time I was like 5 years old, going to Greek school or whatever, I know about like Greek mythology. I know about the course of civilization, like what we've done. Like, I'm telling you, like 1847 or 1827. Remember the 1840?
Yeah.
When I named the date of the Greek independence, the Bell of Independence, I nailed the date off the top of my head just because I fucking know it. You know what I mean? And because, like I said to you, I remember telling you about this in a podcast like fucking months ago. I was saying how Grifaskulia, like the secret schools during the Ottoman occupancy, Greeks, in order to maintain their culture and their identity,
went underground.
They went underground just to keep it going, man. Just to keep it going. Think anyone would fucking do it here now if that ever happened? Like, a foreign invader came in. All right, we're all speaking Swahili from now on, and it starts from today. What? Yeah, if you think,
Man, this guy would go underground with like 10 wives.
yeah, that's it. And as long as you survived,
Yeah.
One would question, John, why can't we go out to see the sun? Oh, it's evil. If you go outside and talk to
sun's
anyone
the
else-
devil.
Yeah, it's not like a cult. But it's a
Funny 'cause
double-edged
it's
sword.
true, yeah.
It's a double-edged sword because if you're that steeped in ancient culture and ancient fucking shit like that, it can make you one-eyed and think that there's no other way.
Yeah.
Like the Greeks in Greece, and I'm critical of Greeks more than I am of anyone else. The Greeks in Greece, if they're not like our generation, the ones before, like my uncles,
Just
and
hang
everyone
on to
older-
it so dearly,
Dude,
like-
they won't go overseas anywhere because according to them, there's nothing else to see.
No,
What for?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's the answer. What for?
What for?
Why? Don't you want to see other things? Why? Greece is beautiful. Why won't I leave? To do what?
It's like, dude, yeah.
There's a whole other world out there. No, I don't.
I can think of, off the top of my head, I can think of like 10 landmarks that I would love to go see somewhere in the world, or at least even acknowledge and just read about. Because like that's what my wiki page is, man. It's literally just shit I'm reading every 24/7. Like, fuck, what is that? I want to see more about it. I want to know about it. You know what I mean? Like I said with the like Myanmar. You know what I mean? Go, what's going on in Myanmar again? And I'll fucking look into it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bunch of Sikhs going against a bunch of Muslims and a bunch of things. Okay, I want to learn about all three things.
Yeah.
I want to fill my head with like.
I want to see what's like.
It's not because I'm smart. I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm
Just inquisitive. Like, I'm kind of the same.
Yeah, but there are people that aren't inquisitive, man. They're fucking.
See, I'm inquisitive with other shit, but for my own like background, I just don't really care. I just.
But
don't.
that's what I'm saying. You're not held. You're not held to water by whatever your background is, because for you it's not a big thing.
No, it's not.
For us growing up, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously not as much. I mean, dude, proof is Nick has married a girl that isn't fucking Greek. Doesn't share any culture.
You're a rebel.
No, but he went with what he wanted.
I just did what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went with what, like, he wasn't, like, that's the thing. Especially, like, with Greeks, you get told you got to marry a Greek in a Greek church. And it's like, what for?
I don't go to church.
What if I don't want to marry a Greek in a Greek church? You know? No. Like, that's how it is. And not just Greeks, dude. Like, obviously across the board.
Yeah, plenty of other.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all depends, man. And that's why, like, a lot of people don't understand, like, the big thing, like, overseas, why they're so driven to have wars and shit in the name of identity or culture and shit, because they've got nothing of their own culture to actually hang on to. It's like a clean slate. But at the same time, it's like, well, we're trying to protect all the shit we've come up from to this point. Yeah. Like Aborigines, man, full circle. There you go. Aborigines just want to be respected, and they want to be recognised as everything. Like, dude, thousands of years. When did the first Aborigines come here from, like, PNG and, like, Africa and stuff? Like, it's mostly PNG, like, up that way, up north. Yeah? There's thousands of languages in Victoria alone, and, like, different tribes. Like, that's history, dude. That's people establishing culture and a way of life and all that sort of shit. Then someone comes along and is like, you're rubbish. 80% of it out the window. Why?
Yeah.
Just because.
You're lying. We don't need this.
We don't need this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you to fucking decide my history, which took thousands of years to develop, is better than your fucking Union Jack? He's not as good as your Union Jack. You know what I mean? That rubbish. They're savages. It's like, well, no, it works for them. They've been working out here for thousands of years.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's why I stay away from it, because there's just so much conflict with it all, and I'm just like, I just want to like look to the future. Like, let's all just get along now. Like, you know, sort of thing. Like, yeah.
But that's another thing, man, that gets me. Like that girl, when who was it? It was when Nick and I've talked about him before. The three British girls from, or the two of them that we'd gone out to dinner with in the States, and we hung out with for a while. And they said to me that I wouldn't have to deal with racism because I'm white, because she was clearly black. And I laughed, and this guy I remember you still had that smoke in your hand. He just went, he just shook his head. He looked at me with a grin and looked down at the ground as he dragged out that last smoke, and just shook his head like they've got no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm white, but no. Oh, dude, indoor on Monday. There you go. Fucking indoor, man. We had a couple ringing players, oh, not ringers, they were just fill-ins, right? Yeah. They weren't like superstars that we brought in for the finals. We just had.
Wasn't like you brought me in or something. Just some randoms. Yeah.
We had four people out, and we're like, fuck, what do we do? Can get a team? So we brought a few fill-in players. One of them I'd seen before, I played against, and then there was this one other kid who I'd seen around but didn't really know. He was young. He had his mum actually at the game. Like, she said, oh, fuck it, I was going to drop him off. I'll stay. And she was sitting there talking to me. She was typical gully spec, like just like one of those mums, you know, like, hey, how are you? Like, she's polite, whatever.
G'day, love.
And then I was on the field, and like I missed the ball or something. I got chopped in the leg. I don't know, but I yelled down like fuck, like I cracked it, yeah. And I've come off because I was in pain. And she goes
down on his knees. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I've got fucking bumps. I'll let you fucking like my leg.
You gonna let me stroke your legs, man?
Dude, there are fucking bumps in there, man. Like as in it's been.
I'll feel it. Yeah.
Hacked. I actually cracked it at the ref after.
Let him bump the knee.
These fucking black marks. I go, that's not makeup, mate. I go, what are you doing? But I've come off, and she said to me, "Oh, you should have said it in Greek." I went, she said in Greek. I go, even I wouldn't understand it. Like I made a joke out of it, and then we were just talking about it, like laughing and all that sort of shit, and I said to her, I go, it's a sad thing. I go, here's the irony of it. I go, like she said, oh, what, are you Greek or what? I go, here's the irony of it. I go, this is the only country in the world where I'm considered Greek, because any other country I go to, I'm Australian, whether I like it or not. And that's how I identify. I'm fucking Australian. Like, I have a Greek cultural background, but I am Australian.
Yeah.
If I was born in Greece and I had a Greek passport, Greek name, Greek everything, yeah, I'd be Greek.
Yeah.
Like the basketballer. What's his name?
Did you take offence to that?
Yanni Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo, right? His family's Nigerian.
Yeah, moved to Greece when I was kids, like young.
Yeah, he was a migrant in Greece. He's black, clear as day. He speaks fluent Greek with a Greek accent, better than mine or Nick's.
Yeah.
And he represents the Greek national
Greece.
basketball team.
And he loves Greece. Like, he loves Greece.
Yeah? Balotelli from Italy.
Yeah.
He's were they Algerian or Sudanese? Congo,
Cote d'Ivoire, maybe.
or the Ivory Coast?
Maybe.
No, you reckon? Is it? Hang on.
I think it's something to do with...
Balotelli, first search. Here we go. Balotelli. He's hang on. It's Liga 1. Who does he play for? Nice.
He
Plays for Nice. Yeah, you know who Balotelli is, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Ghanaian.
The mahogany god.
Yeah.
Dude, he's Ghanaian.
When he was 2.
He was 2 years old. He's Ghanaian, and he moved to Italy. His parents moved to Italy.
And there you go. In 93, when he was 3, Balotelli was placed in a foster care to the Balotelli family when his own family were unable to pay for his health care needs. His foster parents are Silvia, the Jewish daughter of a Holocaust survivor, and Francesco Balotelli in Italian. They lived in a town, and he loves them. Like, they raised him.
How intricate is that mix, man?
Yeah.
A black kid from Ghana moves to Italy and gets placed in foster care from a Holocaust survivor, a Jewish Holocaust survivor in Italy, and now he was the first black guy to represent Italy in the national team. Mm-hmm. And I've said it before, as far as cultural mix and that sort of shit, Italian, especially Romans, man, they're probably the last stand for the whole black versus white thing.
Yep.
That imperialism thought process.
Yep.
They are the last stand. I go, who would have ever thought a Ghanaian
would play for the national
national team would be pulling on the Azura blue and white.
Proud.
You know what I mean? Proud, and they fucking love him.
Well, that's good. That's progression, right?
Yeah, like Yanni from Greece, man. This guy's in the NBA. He got the NBA All-Star.
Dude, his name's the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
That's his name.
The Greek Freak. He's black as
He played
anything.
All-Star last week. He scored 30 points. And people were just like, man, this is unbelievable.
He's not mulatto.
No.
Half white, half black.
No,
he's black. He's a black guy and he's playing basketball.
He's huge.
Oh, well, I just saw the video that...
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Dude, look at Patty Mills.
Yeah, man.
Look at the basketballers. He's indigenous, man. What do you think they say?
Archie Thompson. Indigenous. A-League's greatest goal league scorer.
Yeah, who's Archie? When Archie Thompson goes to play someone overseas, what do they call him?
Australian.
He's Australian.
Yeah.
And funny how Paddy Mills, great Australian basketballer, bring him back for the fucking Boomers.
Yeah.
Dude, he's indigenous, man. He's got an indigenous background. And, it's okay. I'm sure Paddy Mills has got some grievances with the fucking...
But he gets on with it.
He gets on with it, but I'm sure he'd have grievances with it.
Yeah, of course.
As in, he'd have something to say about it. I'm sure someone in his family somewhere is affected by the stolen generation and what, indigenous culture is copped, in this country. Doesn't matter. He's playing basketball for Australia. He's fine. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't think to call him an abo off the bat just because. Yeah. He's Australian first. That's how it is.
Yep.
Dude, it just frustrates me when, race relations, on the planet, today, it's a big thing, and it's complicated. You're never going to iron it out. Not in our lifetimes, man. It's never going to get ironed out ever. Not in our lifetimes. That's for fucking sure. It just pisses me off. We're at a time and point in history where we actually have the tools to assess everything.
So much information.
Yeah, we have the information. It's no longer just my dad making an ignorant claim about Middle Easterns in 2001. Mm-hmm. It's 2017, and we have do I want to know what's going on there? Pick up your phone or take a fucking $800 trip to the Middle East and have a look for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Your own eyes, and then come talk to you kind of thing.
And all the stereotypes, man, can just get thrown out of the fucking window because they're not relevant anymore.
Yeah, Johnny.
Like Chinese. Chinese, man, they bind their feet. They bind the newborns of children so they grow deformed. All that sort of shit. Well, it's just a little crap. It's man, what are you talking about? These things you're talking about something from the 50s. Did you have a handbook, that you came when you were 13 years old?
Yeah.
Fucked up cultural aspects of other countries aside from here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't That's all I ever hear. It pisses me off, man. Hey, dude, we're at 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm running
Good
low
sesh.
on fuel.
Yeah, great sesh, boys. It's a 41st birthday.
Oh, that's what I didn't get to acknowledge. I keep forgetting to acknowledge it, man. And I should have ages ago.
Prince Arthur.
Prince Arthur, gave us the that voucher, the $50 voucher.
Thank you, Artie.
Thanks, Arch.
Artie.
50
Champion.
cents an
I
episode.
want to call him Artie.
Yeah, no, that was really nice of him to do it. So thanks a lot. I said that I would save it for when we move to HQ and we'd buy something with it, like to commemorate, like in here.
Yeah, nice.
The slab.
The slab. The slab.
The slab of some chicken.
It's going to be a slab.
It'll take us a couple of days. Like, it'll take us through.
Yeah, man.
Or maybe we can buy some meat for the new next barbecue that Nick's going to put on.
Right from now.
Can you put
Hey,
on
you
one
didn't bring
soon?
meat, did you? You prick.
Oh,
You
I thought
come
you were
past
going
my
to...
house.
When?
I want to wrap it. I told you guys to take some yesterday. I
was expecting
no one
a little-
listened.
Yeah, but I forgot that today would be a long day for me, and I was going to get
Dude,
home.
I was expecting a little sausage treat after the potty.
I'll give you a sausage treat, but it won't be one you ate yesterday.
Hang on, wait a second.
That's fine too.
Wait a second. We were fucking throwing food down your throat, like on your way out. You only took the tzatziki. You didn't.
I said to you, take some food. Let me put some in. You're like, nah.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know.
No, honestly, why?
I don't know. I just...
Greeks give food and we feed. Like, I just needed to give you something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have taken it. But
hindsight.
Hindsight. Lovely thing, hindsight. I was going to say.
I don't know. I just don't I don't feel bad or whatever. Like, not bad, but just like awkward taking it. Like from like you cooked it and it's there and it's yours. Like you keep it. Like don't give it to me.
Nah, dude.
Nah,
Greek-
man, nah.
Wog houses, man. It's like my food is your food. We all need to eat. Like, and the
Could have
next.
brought me a little sausage today though.
I love how you're expecting him to bring the food today just so you could have something to eat.
No, just because afterwards you said you're going to bring some meat.
I totally forgot about it. It's in the fridge.
Yeah. I'll drop past by the way. I can take some then. Fuck it.
Drop past.
Yeah.
Drop past if you guys
Oh,
want.
I'm just thinking of those chops again with your tzatziki. Oh
I'm just
my
thinking,
God.
you know what, I only thought about it because when I got up, I'm like, fuck.
Oh, fuck it. I'll go shout us lunch. I'll mush out.
Dude, it's only
you shouted
2:30, 2:30, man. I want to beat the traffic back home.
Yeah, no, you'll cop it.
I don't want to
Believe
cop
me, you'll
what we copped
it.
last week.
So we got to
Like,
leave
fuck that.
soon to beat the traffic.
Next week you can shout us a sausage roll or something.
Yeah. No, I'd
from the servo.
I'd rather leave earlier than later, man. Because
And you'll cop it here.
I've still got 4 or 5 hours of editing. Plus, I want to get the website finished, man. Do you like the website?
Yeah, it looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, everyone. I'm finally working on getting that website up and running. It's just going to be a hub. Just you can go there to get our episodes, basically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, it looks fucking cool though, man. It's fucking sick. It's got like I love how it's got the Instagram photos on there as well, like they go along the top, like the social media pics.
Look, man, I haven't done web developing for like 10 years.
And
so
what's the web address? Just so people know.
that's not right.com.
Not AU, it's .com.
.com. You have to. AU, you can only register if you're a business. Maybe we'll do it after
I didn't
we
know that.
register, for an ACN or something.
But nah, .com, man.
Yeah, I've got to talk to a few heads about getting it actually up and running. But you know what? One of the when you develop, like you're making the site or whatever, it's got all the thumbnails and shit of pre-made stuff you can put in. Mm-hmm. One of them is a big donate button for like PayPal.
Just flashing.
I put it in on the front page. I'm like, no, we're not ready for donations yet, man. Let's get some content up and running first before we start charging people.
That's no joke.
No. Hit that donate button right now.
Clever needs money.
Actually, there's a stack of bills on my kitchen table that I haven't opened in a week.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Water bill rates.
It's easier not to know. Like,
I'm just like, they're going to take my money either way. Who cares?
I usually just put the envelope on the fridge with the magnet. Ren's like, why didn't you open it up? I just don't want to.
I don't want to.
yeah, you don't want to, do you?
Dude,
It's like,
it is sat. I swear to God, I got it on like Friday or Thursday last week, and it's just sat there.
I've got a whole bunch of Eastlink ones, and I just won't open them because I just don't want to. I just don't want to.
You know, that's just reoccurring overdue bill.
I know. I'm still not going to open it. Fuck it. I'll go to court. I'll take that shit to court.
For an Eastern
I pay my taxes. I shouldn't have to pay to drive.
Isaiah Wild Right style. Take it to the fucking man.
Yeah, it's the family member that he doesn't want nothing to do with.
I love he's referencing him now as he is blood, but when we discovered it, you had nothing to do with it. That's
Just when it suits me.
And even now, 10 minutes ago, that's not me.
That's not me. He's not cute enough. You know what I mean? This is what it comes down to.
He isn't, though.
Writing off the relatives because they're ugly. You know what I mean? By 17th century standards. They're disgusting. No flair, no style.
He looks like a hobo, that filthy pig.
It was...
Well, can't have to bathe in a lake. And you're like, what a pig.
Clean yourself up, Isaiah.
You're talking about someone that died like 200 years ago. Sort yourself out, mate.
Cobber.
Cobber. Come on.
All right, guys, we're at
All right.
2.5 hours, man.
That was sick.
All right.
Yeah, first episode at HQ. How do you feel? I'm just going to quickly say.
I feel great.
Feels weird, huh? I don't feel weird.
I feel great anyway because I'm sobriety and shit, but it feels great being here as well. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it's like a
everything's
fresh.
Johnny's happy.
Fresh.
Everything's coming up, Johnny.
I thought it'd be really, really different, but it actually feels like we've been here for years. Like,
Yeah, dude, I feel the same. It feels
know
like
what I
just
mean?
normal. It feels normal.
Yeah,
it doesn't
Like
feel
home.
strange.
Feels like home. Like
Yeah,
you
it was
come
meant to
in-
be.
Yeah.
no, do you know why? Because I can see my old speakers behind this guy's head as well. Like for everyone out there, like the dojo was basically a composite of all random shit from our houses, like Nick's fucking knife with the skull on it.
Of course, I bought the knife.
Yeah, Johnny brought his fairy lights in, and like I've got
I bring a knife. It's
Fairy.
very
What a comparison, knife to fairy.
and I brought the sound system. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty. There's an indicator of where it's at. Knives, fairy lights, and sound
Stereos.
systems. Yeah, stereos. So we've done our best to make it. Oh, and the dolomite. Johnny
dolomite, it kills
that's
it.
my dolomite filled with old.
It's your dolomite, but I set it up here in the middle of the table. It looks really cool. I'm
Yeah, 1 cent and 2 cent coins.
going to spin him around to look at you.
Why?
freak you out. Every time you look
No,
at
just look at him in now,
I've got
man.
to draw some little pupils on him just to really freak you out.
fucked.
I wonder what they're worth now, the old dolomites.
About as much as what's in there.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to look it up on eBay.
Go.
eBay. You won't find a dolomite, man.
I swear, if you find the dolomite,
I bet I will, man. You can find anything on eBay. I'm going to be the stats man for the first time. Ready?
For the first 9 months in, after he'd already put you in as that role when he went overseas, now you're searching something. Do you have any battery left anyway?
Yeah. That's 7%.
Statsman my ass. I just
So
found
I
it.
typed in dolomite and it came up dollar mint.
You've already found it. This
Mate.
guy's already found it.
You can buy dolomites, but they're not like that. You can buy Scooby-Doo ones. A Commonwealth Bank money box dolomite Prue, $10.
Yeah, just hang on to it for a bit longer.
Hang on, dude. I'm not. I just.
I found it. The vintage, exactly the same one.
How much?
Vintage Commonwealth Bank Dolomites money box, $19.50.
Yeah, I found another one for about
$19.50.
$19.50.
I thought it would. I thought it would have been more than
That's
that.
mad.
Stats, man. Don't you take my name away from me.
Just cutting his lunch.
Just.
So I'm just, you know what I just pictured? I pictured like the images for this, for the episode. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to get Caitlyn Jenner with Balotelli from the Italian.
Can you have
team.
Alexander the Great cutting Caitlyn Jenner's throat?
How am I going to do that? I'm not a magician.
Oh my god. You know what you're going to do? You're going to get a picture of Balotelli kicking a soccer ball, but it's actually kicking Caitlyn Jenner in the nuts.
Oh, like the balls.
Yeah.
Kicking the balls.
See what I'm saying?
Ah. Done.
Throw a few Latter-day Saints in there. I don't even know what else.
An old carton of milk at the background.
The milk.
Oh, the milk. I forgot about the milk.
Johnny just sucking the teat.
People always say to me, do we actually discuss what we're talking about? We don't discuss what we're
At
talking
all.
about.
At all, we don't.
We come in
Fresh. Just
yeah, with whatever we want to talk about.
We talk a bit of shit, which is unrelated at the start, and then we just get into this, and off we go.
like we
Johnny
hone
at the
in,
end
we hone in on we
Rag-
hone in
rag
on
me out.
topics. We hone in on topics and just bleed them dry. But that's what, like, I told a lot of people that said they want to come on or that sort of shit. And they said, how can you talk for like 3 hours? That's a bit long. I go, well, how long is your average coffee or your average beer
that's
with your
right.
mate?
Saying,
2-3 hours. You know, like, we're not doing anything. We're just talking shit.
I mean, to be fair, like in the 2.5 hours, we ripped Johnny for about 40 of those minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes of ripping Johnny.
Collectively.
collectively. All right. Okay, let's call it first time out from HQ, man.
Loved it, loved it,
South
loved
Melbourne.
it.
Took leverage out.